Hello and welcome to Women in Retail Talks, the podcast where C-suite women in the retail space share their stories of professional growth, leadership development, personal journeys, and more. I'm Christina Stidham, Digital Content Director of Women in Retail Leadership Circle, a membership-based community of executive women at leading retailers and brands. Today, we're bringing back one of our most downloaded episodes of 2024, a reflection on 10 years of Women in Retail Leadership Circle and the organization's growth. The discussion is led by co-founder Melissa Campanelli. She's joined by president and co-founder Jennifer DePasquale and membership director Susan Koger. They touch on the organization's origin, major milestones in its growth, offerings for members, and the impact that Women in Retail Leadership Circle has had on women executives as well as the retail industry at large. We hope you enjoy this opportunity to learn more about Women in Retail Leadership Circle.
Welcome to Women in Retail Talks. I'm Melissa Campanelli, the co-founder and content and brand director of Women in Retail Leadership Circle. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different on this podcast. For the first Women in Retail Talks podcast of 2024, we're going to turn the microphone around on ourselves and talk a little bit about women in retail and what we're all about. Joining me today are Jennifer DePasquale, the president and co-founder of Women in Retail. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Melissa. So fun to be here.
And Susan Koger, who's Women in Retail's director of membership.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Melissa. It's so great to be here with you ladies today.
Yeah, this is exciting. So I'm going to start out with sort of the genesis of Women in Retail. This is our 10th year, everybody. So it's a great time to talk a little bit about our origin story. So Jen, why don't you fill the listeners in?
Sure. So you know this story well. Well, first of all, for everyone listening, Women in Retail is an association for executive level women at all the major leading retailers and brands. The whole mission of Women in Retail, we always say, is to champion women upward in their companies and help them really become the best leaders they can be and offer them a community of executives and a true support system to connect with along the way. And that is truly what we're building is community. We offer leadership development for our members through virtual and live events. We offer peer groups. We have fabulous content and, of course, elite connections. So just to give you an idea of who we are, if you're not familiar with us. So back to the origin and how we got started. I was running Total Retail. Melissa was involved as well. It's a sister brand of Women in Retail. And we really started talking to our network and just getting curious and asking questions. We wanted to know where they were getting their leadership development and training, where were they getting their female community and inspiration, and just, curious of how they were solving pain points in group settings. And of course, the answer was, hey, we don't have that. What are you talking about? So we knew we had an idea, spark of an idea. And at the same time, we knew that obviously there's a ton of women working in retail at the time, but there were the number of women in C-suites, the number of women in executive positions, the number of women on boards was just clearly not up to par. And we also kept hearing from our senior level women that they felt isolated and they wanted to find a space to really connect with other leaders. And, that's not just a saying, it's lonely at the top. It is lonely at the top. So we kept hearing these same sentiments, over and over, and we wanted to put a community together. So what Melissa and I did is we really, put our board of directors together, which was, some women leaders in the space that we really admired. And we just picked their brains. And we said, hey, if we could dream this community up and, create something for you, what would that look like? And, we listened to them and heard their pain points. And really what they wanted was connection. They wanted leadership development and training, and they wanted a means of doing so all year round. So that's what we created back in the day. And we still pivot to what the community wants, and listen to their pain points and see how we can react and, go back to the drawing board each year. And so at the time, Melissa, we launched the summit and the circle, the membership
Yep.
piece of it together. And I mean, you remember that first summit, we knew that we had something big. It was a sold out success immediately. It was so fun. You could hear a
Yeah.
crackle and feel a
Yep.
spark in the air. And,
I remember that well. That
oh my
was
God.
unbelievable. It was like there was a
Yes,
spark. There was a spark.
there was a spark. And we looked at each other and we were like, okay, we've got something, right? And so, we knew at that moment we wanted to connect these women year round, right? We didn't want to give them like this lovely event and then say, okay, see you next year. We really wanted to connect them over the course of the year, which is how membership in the community itself got started. And then after that, we just started building more and more events and growing the community and the members. And currently, our community has 10x'd from where we started, which is incredible. And it's comprised of successful and motivated and, of course, passionate women across all the verticals of retailers. And they all have a strong belief that investing in themselves and other women is good business. And it is, quite frankly. And the ecosystem of the community is really anywhere from enterprise CEOs with decades of experience to directors who are working their way up. And the common thread we always say is women coming together to learn from each other and help each other succeed. And that is literally what we see every day. Everyone's community wants to help each other and learn and connect and grow from one another. And it's been a blast.
That was great, Jen. Thanks for that overview. I love listening to that. It's nice to sit back and think about, the early days. We don't really do that enough, I don't think,
Yep.
and how far we've come. And
Yep.
just it's great to just think about all we are doing to help so many people. And we do hear that all the time, as you said. So, along the way, we have hit many milestones and our community has grown, as Jen said, 10x. So I thought I'd just point out some of the bigger milestones for everyone. So as we said, this is our 10th year. So in 2014, it was our first Women in Retail Summit, took place in Miami. And the first Women in Retail Leadership Circle Advisory Board and the Women in Retail Leadership Circle group was officially founded. So that all happened in 2014. 2017, we doubled in size, which was exciting at the time. In 2021, we launched a corporate partnership program, which we're going to talk a little bit about later. And then in 2022, we hired our first membership director, Susan, who's on the call with us today. That's been really great and really helpful in terms of our growth. And drum roll, please. In April this year, we're going to be launching our 10th summit, and we have a lot of fun stuff planned there as well, which we'll talk about later. But let's bring our membership director and Susan into the conversation. So, Susan, tell us a little bit about your background and what drew you to Women in Retail.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Melissa. So I'd actually first heard about Women in Retail through my amazing sister-in-law, Sue. She is a member. She has a long career in retail. And she had attended one of the Women in Retail events in Dallas and just raved about her experience. She said both in terms of content and networking, it was so impactful, really outstanding. But more importantly, she said the women at the event were so authentic and real. And she really felt a connection right away with that first event that she attended. And I was thrilled for her. I was so happy that she had found this professional community, this membership to belong to, because that was my world. I've been working in membership development and association management for my career, nearly 20 years. Community is so important to me. It's a huge part of my life in terms of both my professional life and my personal life with volunteer roles that I'm involved in. And so, when she had mentioned this, it sort of stuck with me. And then one day I was on LinkedIn and this opportunity popped up and I called her right away and said, I'm looking to make a move and I think this is meant to be. And it sure seems to have been the case. It's just been a tremendous year working with you both and our team to transform membership, really personalize the experience, take membership to the next level for this amazing Women in Retail community.
It is totally meant to be. It has been such a great year having you on board, and you have made such an impact, I can tell you, on the community itself. And it's so great to work with you.
Thank you. I feel really very, very, lucky and just happy all the time to be with this team and to meet our amazing members and to see, the growth and to see the connections that, our members have with each other. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's inspiring.
So as Jen said, you are leading a lot of efforts to make women in retail membership more impactful. So why don't you tell the listeners about some of the current member benefits that you're working on?
Sure, absolutely. So members receive, first and foremost, discounted and priority registration to both our in-person and virtual events. This includes the Women in Retail Leadership Summit, those regional on the road one-day conferences that I mentioned. We also have something new that we launched last year. We have local meetups, which are really great. They're led by member ambassadors in cities around the country. They're really meant to be smaller working opportunities where members can gather very locally. Within a membership, you always want the small within the big. The big events are absolutely wonderful, but it's really nice to know members in your own backyard. We have sort of pockets of membership communities around the country. I was able to attend one of these events in Philadelphia a few months ago, and it was just such an amazing evening of camaraderie and networking and friendship and laughter. So I was really happy that I was able to see that happen in person. We know everyone can't be everywhere, so we also have a number of virtual offerings, including peer groups. This is one of my favorite benefits of membership, and they are relaunching in 2024, and we're very excited about this. We've put a lot of time and thought into how to make peer groups the best they can be for our members. So they'll be happening quarterly. They are going to be organized by job function, and there'll be member-led discussions around industry issues, business strategy. There'll be an agenda. It's a great opportunity for sharing. Sometimes the agenda is followed, sometimes it's not, and that's okay too, because they're really for our members and their peer training and development and learning with each other. Of course, we have content. Melissa, you and our amazing content team does a fantastic job in terms of giving our members exclusive access to research, industry resources, event coverage. We have so much available to our members that we offer in a weekly newsletter, a monthly member letter. We also have private online discussion forums for our members to connect with each other. We have a membership directory with mentorship opportunities, exclusive event invitations when we might be in a city doing a pop-up event or working with an industry partner. I could go on. Our benefits are amazing. They are here to support our members and their professional and personal growth. There's so much to offer.
I am going to jump in there, Susan, and just toot the content team's horn because I know Melissa will not do it herself. But our content is unbelievable, I have to say. And we have put so many great speakers on stage and done so many great topics. And it's everything from what you would want to hear in the retail strategy world, right? Like are they solving problems, tech stacks, all of that. But then it's also, okay, let's talk about menopause, or let's talk about culture, or let's talk about leveling up. You want to get from the EVP level to a higher level if that's your goal. And I have to say, like, we do a really well-rounded diverse lineup of content that you cannot get at other shows. I'm telling you, and you can't get them at other groups. Like, it is truly what you said, Susan, resonated with me when you said that Sue had mentioned that it was authentic, because we have built the core of our community on being authentic and coming to the table as yourself. And Melissa and the team have done just an extraordinary job. Sometimes I love to just sit in the audience and just listen because it's so impactful. So kudos to you and the team, because I know you're not going to toot your own horn, so I have to do it for you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
And it is definitely a team effort. I'd love to shout out to Maria Albajez, who's actually helping us out on this podcast in the background as well, who does a ton of great work with content. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Christina Stidham on our content team. She's actually helping us out with this podcast as well. She actually came up with the idea to do this podcast, so she's great. But let's shift gears a little bit and talk about some fun stories around membership, and how our community has been integral in bringing women together to succeed in their careers, because that's really what it's about. It's about the impact that we have on these ladies. I get so excited whenever I hear about partnerships that were formed between members. I've heard so many situations where maybe an entrepreneur met a traditional retailer at one of our events, and I'm shopping at a mall in a store and I see the product in the store. Like, it just kind of gives me, it's a goosebump moment.
Yeah.
I also love how entrepreneur members have formed great relationships with other members. I know quite a few have found great mentors and have great mentorship relationships with some of our members. So I also love to hear those stories. So those are my two sort of favorite fun things about membership.
Yeah, Melissa, I love those stories too. Some of our members actually have formed partnerships with Curate Retail Group, as an example. Curate is one of our corporate partners. They're the home of QVC and HSN. And it's been so exciting to see some of our members actually on QVC, showcasing their products. I always tune in. I get so excited to see them. And, we see it happen right in front of us sometimes at our events, these connections being made. And then the next thing we have a celebration when somebody's on television. So it was very exciting.
Those are, I love both of those
Yeah.
from you both. One of the things I love that you guys know is, and I always say it's part of our DNA to connect women to job opportunities. I cannot tell you how many connections we make on a regular basis, and I love hearing when they pan out. I mean, we have put women, there's no question, like, we've put women in C-suite roles, in board roles. We've helped women get promoted at their own companies and countless job advancements, you name it. I mean, I've had women, come up to me after the summit and say that they made a call on the spot for something that, whether it's a raise or a job change, or, asking for what they deserve, just because they came out of a great session. Like, it is, it's so cool to see that stuff happen in real time. Susan always jokes, like, between Melissa and I, we know everyone in retail, and maybe that just means that we're old. I don't know. It means that we've got some years on us, but we do have deep roots in retail. So it's really, really rewarding to connect people to the right roles and help them open doors. I mean, that is part of the fun of what we do. So just love that.
Yep. So we're looking forward to continued growth, obviously, in 2024. And part of that is putting on the best spanking conference you've ever attended. So we're working to make it the best one yet. We're gathering more than 600 women, and we're assembling an incredible lineup of speakers covering all types of topics, sort of what Jen just mentioned, everything from wellness to culture to leadership to AI, to anything that you could possibly want. And some of the speakers we already have signed up are Chris Everett, who you might know. She's a world-renowned tennis player. We have Kat Cole, the CEO of Athletic Greens, formerly the CEO of Hooters, where she started as a server. So that's kind of exciting to hear her growth trajectory. Ali Webb, the founder of Dry Bar, and she just published a great book called The Messy Truth. Sharon Price John, the CEO of Build-A-Bear, is going to be speaking, and Mandy Fields, the CFO of Elf Beauty, and so many more great speakers. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing event. And I really urge you to come.
You always put together the best lineup. I love to hear each and every one of them. And they're also different too. What I'll say about I mean, I can't give away all our secrets. You gotta come and attend and see what's what. But a couple of things, we have a CEO experience, which we have totally leveled up, and it's really kind of a show within a show, to be honest. It's special content and breakout sessions for the CEOs each day. And it's really for them to, obviously discuss their own pain points and, talk about subject matter that is important to them, but it's also to build their own network of CEOs, right? That is part of what we do. So the CEO experience is fantastic. And then we're going to do leadership breakouts. These are new this year. Everybody will be participating in these. These are kind of mini workshops on various topics that we've heard from the masses that people just want more information on. Some of those might be leading in transformation. All the retailers are in transformation right now. Could be, ones on leading multi-generational workforces, which everyone's, relating to right now. So a bunch of workshops that we'll be doing. And then we've also expanded our squad networking. So we launched squads last year, and they were really well received. As we grow, because we keep expanding, obviously, the membership and the summit itself, we always want to keep the small within the big, right? And allow attendees to make these great connections. That's what makes the group so powerful. So we intentionally connect smaller groups called squads within the show, and we give them times to meet each day. So if you're a first timer coming, you'll have a crew immediately that you meet. And you can connect with over the course of the summit. And then if you're coming with, a team of people, we want you to break outside of that team and meet and network with other people. So that's, the kind of the mindset behind the squads, which again are really well received and fun. And then of course, since it's our 10th anniversary, and we're at the Ritz-Carlton on Amelia Island, which is just such a gorgeous property. I cannot wait for you all to experience it. We're going to have some fun celebrations around the 10th anniversary. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, the summit is going to be amazing for sure. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Amelia Island. We're very, very excited. And, beyond the summit, we'll be bringing, benefits and community to our members all year long. We're going to have on the road events this fall. We'll be in New York and San Francisco and a number of other cities later this year. We'll also be popping up at Shop Talk in March, Commerce Next in June. And then we'll have those ambassador local meetups that I mentioned earlier in cities all around the country. Of course, our peer groups and workshops where our members can connect virtually. So we will be bringing all of that to you all year long.
Great. Well, I think we did a great job, if I must say so myself, of an overview of this great group and on our great events. Listeners, if you plan to attend any of the events that Susan and Jen mentioned, please go to womeninretail.com/events to see our full calendar. Registration is open now for the 2024 Women in Retail Leadership Summit, and we'd love to see you there. Our membership is also growing, as we've said, and we'd love to have you join us as well. So listeners, you can apply to become a member at womeninretail.com/apply. And then also, as a thank you for listening to this podcast, retailers, if you're not a member, we'd love to offer you $50 off of your first year of membership. To receive that discount, simply enter podcast when applying for membership. So thank you so much, Jen and Susan.
Thanks, Melissa. And I'll just jump in. If you're on the vendor or technology side, we have 1,000,001 ways for you to engage with our Women in Retail community on the sponsorship side. And we'd love to have you reach out for sponsorship. You can email me at jdpasquale@napco.com. Love to hear from you.
Thanks, ladies. And thank you to all of our members, everyone listening. We are thrilled to be your membership organization, and we cannot wait to see you at an event in 2024. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please go to womeninretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Women in Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review our show. Lastly, if you're a female retail leader interested in joining our community at Women in Retail Leadership Circle, visit womeninretail.com/apply. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Women in Retail Talks.